Hey there! Let's go study! It is exam season for me, and thankfully I only have one exam, but it's a very big and important exam, so I have to prepare myself well. And for the upcoming 2 weeks, I will be studying every day in order to prepare myself, and I am going to show you exactly how I do that. Make sure that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell in order to see more videos like this one. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to be studying for a couple of hours a day for the next couple of weeks, so I need to make sure that I set the right tone. If I don't set the right tone, I will be unmotivated very quickly, so it's important to take the right steps. First, I'm tidying up the spaces where I'll be studying, which is mainly going to be my desk, and my desk is currently a mess, so I need to tidy that up first. I have multiple dedicated study spots in my home because I like to switch places between my study sessions instead of staying in one place all day. And because of this, I study, for example, right at my desk, but also on my kitchen table, also in my bedroom, but also on the small table in my living room, which is totally fine. I just like to switch it up. I think this is the worst part of my desk. This is kind of like that chair in your bedroom where you kind of pile all your clothes that aren't dirty, but they aren't clean yet either, so you don't put them in your closet. So you kind of pile them up on that one chair. This is that chair. Apart from studying inside in my apartment, I also like to go outside to study, for example, in the library or in a cafe. But the problem with the library right now is that everyone is having their exam period right now. So there are only a few spots available and it's very crowded in the library. So I like to just have a very secure, nice place at home where I can just start every day. My desk is totally decluttered now, and you know what they say, an empty desk is an empty mind, which is exactly what I need when I'm trying to study. Alright, next up is grabbing all the school supplies that I'm going to need for the study session because I want to make sure that I have everything and I don't have to grab things while I'm studying. That would be very annoying. In this case, that's my planner, my books, my law book, my pens, whiteout, highlighters, bookmarks and sticky notes, my laptop of course, and my binder which contains all of my notes, all of my summaries, and a ton of loose leaf paper. I try to think of all the stationery and all the supplies that I could possibly need while I need to study, because if I'm studying and I constantly need to grab stuff that I forgot, it will be a distraction. So I make sure that I have every necessity that I will need during my study session. This really helps me because I know that everything is in one place and I don't need to get up to get stuff during my study session. When I'm studying, I like to use earbuds to listen to music while I'm studying and also to reduce the noise around me. And the ones that I really like to use are called Liberty 4 from Soundcore by Anker. The Liberty 4 earbuds were recently released on the market, but I already love them. There are 3 main reasons why I really like the Liberty 4 earbuds. First of all, the acoustic system, which is just amazing. The sound that you hear is so crisp and clear. The earbuds also come with spatial audio, so it doesn't matter how you move your head, you're always at the heart of the music. Second of all, the noise reduction, which is really important when you're trying to get some stuff done and you need to focus. With the noise reduction, you don't get as distracted by your environment. And third of all, these earbuds actually track your heart rate through your ear canal, which is really cool because you can check out your heart rate during different activities throughout the day, for example, working out or studying, and you can manage your stress level. So it actually shows you when you're experiencing stress and when you should maybe try to release some of that tension or stress that you're feeling, which is of course really helpful when you're studying and in your exam period and kind of nervous about your exams. I use the Liberty 4 earbuds to listen to music while I'm studying, which also relieves stress and makes me more productive. If you want to find out more information about the Liberty 4 earbuds, or you want to get the Liberty 4 earbuds yourself, click on the link in my description box so you can focus whenever and wherever you want. Thank you Soundcore for sponsoring this part of the video. The last thing I have to do before I can actually get started with studying is make a very detailed planning so I know exactly what to do on each day. The first thing I do when I make a planning is write down all the things I have to do on a big to-do list and all the study material I have to get through. For example, in this case, I want to rewatch all my lectures, I want to summarize my book, I want to study all of the material, and I want to watch one lecture that I missed. Step 2 is counting the amount of days that I have left before the exam, and in this case I have 14 days left before my exam. And then I look at the list of the things I have to do and kind of spread them out over the days that I have. So I do the same amount of work every day. And I also make sure to schedule in a day to relax or a day to catch up. If I don't have anything to catch up on, it will be just a day to relax, and if I do have stuff to catch up on, I can do that on that day before the exam. And sometimes I schedule in multiple days to relax, but this time it's just one day. Now I've made a very specific planning to prepare myself for the exam, and if I stick to it, I will have rewatched all the lectures, I will have studied the material twice, and I've read the books. When you're making a planning for your exams, it's very important to check if your planning is actually manageable and not just way too much and something that you for sure aren't going to keep up with. Because if that's the case, you're going to fall behind on your schedule within the first couple of days. Then you have to either make a new planning or you'll lose motivation altogether. Either way, it's just very important that you make a schedule that you can keep up with. So how do you figure out that your planning is manageable and not just very unrealistic expectations of yourself? Well, when you're planning, take a look at each task and ask yourself, okay, how much time is this really going to take me? So for example, if you're watching an online lecture that takes you 2 hours, make sure that you're going to add a little bit of extra time, because these things always take a little bit more time than we anticipate. So for example, if you have to watch a 2-hour lecture, tell yourself, okay, that will take 2.5 hours of my day. Then you're going to add up all of the hours of your tasks, and then you come up with a certain number, and then you have to really ask yourself, okay, is this realistic for me or not? So for example, in my schedule, I will be studying 5 or 6 hours per day, and that is manageable for me for a very short amount of time. So I could do this, but only for 2 weeks, and then I'm just exhausted. And for me, that is okay, because I know that I don't have exam periods a lot, I have a lot more time, I don't have a lot of other obligations, so that works for me. But if it would be 8 hours per day, it wouldn't be manageable for me. I know that already, I know this about myself, and so you really have to look realistically at how much studying you can actually get done each day. But if you take a look at your schedule and you realize that you've scheduled in way too much and it's going to be way too much hours for you, well, then you have to look at your to-do list again. No grade in the world is worth getting a burnout. Be honest with yourself and only schedule in what you can realistically handle. If that means you can rewatch your lectures, then so be it. Or if it means that you can't summarize your whole book by hand, that's totally understandable. Yes, it is nice to be well prepared for an exam, but it doesn't mean that you have to do everything perfectly, and it doesn't mean that you should burn yourself out because you're just studying too much. Just focus on the things that have the highest priority first, and if you have time and energy left, then do other things. From now on, I simply follow the study schedule I made to make sure that I get through all the study material. This ensures that I complete the list of the things I have to do that I made earlier. I focus on 4 areas when I'm learning a subject to make sure I'm well prepared: my lectures, my books and my study material, my law book and case law, and also past exams, aka practice. I also like to spread these things out over a couple of days and make sure that I do multiple things at once. So I don't want just one practice day, I would rather practice a little bit every day to make sure that the material really sticks. And this makes sure that I'm prepared in all areas that I can get tested on. My study schedule is pretty simple actually. During my exam periods, I don't have any other school obligations like lectures, meetings, assignments, etc. I pretty much have 1 or 2 free weeks before my exams, which gives me the space to revolve my day around studying. I try to wake up around 7 unless there is something important which requires me to wake up earlier. Then after getting ready and having breakfast, I go study for 1 or 2 hours. Then I take a break and then I study some more until the afternoon. In the afternoon, my concentration is at its worst, and ever since I've recognized that, I try not to force myself to study, but instead I like to take a larger break, to have lunch, and to get outside for a walk or do something fun. Then after my walk, I get back to work until 5, after which I eat dinner and relax, and depending on what's left on my to-do list, I either work or relax in the evening. If I'm not done with my to-do list yet and it's not too much, I try to finish, and otherwise I take my evenings off. That concludes my detailed study routine. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this one in the future. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!